Hot 97, Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles, Rosenberg. Give it up for my brother Chris Gotti back on the show.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys, man. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Look, anytime Chris says, yo, I need to come up, promo something because we go so far back, we get it done. Last time you was here, you was launching a new adventure called Adventures.
Yes.
Which is
so
basically
much things has changed since that day up here. It's a great
change in a good way.
Absolutely amazing.
Because the initial thing was for you set up basically a digital outlet for indie artists to get marketing through I guess contacts and business endeavors that you had.
So what I did is I set up a digital platform basically where any independent artist could come on the platform, and I had set up all the sites through my relationships on the site where you could get any service you need as an independent artist. And I did it in resource level. So if you only had $1,000, I'll give you a bang for your buck for that $1,000, for $500, for $100. And then I could take it and do the traditional style if you had a real budget with a real rollout, which is for independent artists, we all know is very hard to do. So that has grown so much since we last spoke, and I'm doing an official launch because I want to tell the world now, and I'm going to do radio in multiple cities, go on the road. I opened up a Latin side with Dinero now, and we're going to go on the road and actually start talking to artists, get in front of artists, marketing and promoting officially. So basically when I came the first time, it was like a soft launch, right? And I just had it open. Since then, I'm over 300 plus artists now signed to the platform. And we're just putting out product.
And Rosenberg, you and I spoke about it, and you were like, you kind of were like, I don't quite understand. Like, is he signing them to a label? Like, what's the relationship? And did I articulate it right? Where I was like, I think basically he's just helping them run their businesses.
Talk to me, Rose.
No, I just really didn't know because I missed the whole thing. So it's just like, artists are constantly asking me what opportunities make sense.
Right.
So it sounded very cool to me that they could have this opportunity.
Okay, so one of the first things I always want to say is I built and designed this. This was a long process. This wasn't an overnight thing. This was a 7-year, let's say, process actually to get to where I'm at today. And what I did was I looked at all of the challenges artists have. I was on the record label side. I'm Murder Inc. So at the end of the day, I know all of the problems from the label side versus the artist side. Ja Rule, Ashanti, that's family, and we took care of them. Lloyd, we took care of all our artists. So at the end of the day, that was always a clash with Universal. And then when the change of the internet came in, this is when everything evolved. And I watched everything change, and I'm like, how can we fix this problem where the labels are taking so much advantage to me of artists that versus what they get back in return. And this is where this whole idea came from. So what I did, the artists are free. I don't own artists. Artists can sign today and leave tomorrow. I don't own anything.
It's a vehicle.
It's a vehicle, and I'm letting you utilize all of my relationships in the 30-year history of music that I've compiled and built up, and basically you could come in and use that and get whatever service you could afford or use. And then it's your job to build your business. Like, you have a business, you run it, right? If you have a job or you have a company that you own, it's your job to build that company.
And by services too, you mean like a management, like a publicist? I can only afford, I don't know, $500 a month.
Okay, there's certain parts of the music business. Music business is very intricate, so certain parts of the music business I cannot get into. For instance, producing. Mm-hmm. If I took a producer's music to try and play it for artists, they could steal it. I don't want the liability.
Right.
A manager, I could hire a manager. I could have a team of managers that I love. And then I'd say, okay, Rosenberg, you're the artist. You got a manager. Here's the list. Ebro's your manager. Ebro doesn't do a great job. You're firing him, and you're looking at me for giving you Ebro. I don't want that problem. But I will have things available from that standpoint, but services, marketing, promoting.
Well, let's start like this. Let's say I show up to you and I go, hey, I've got $5,000 total. What can you guys do for me? I've got music. I'm sitting on 20 songs or whatever. I got a few thousand followers online. I want to take this to another level. So, what can you do?
Okay, so the trick is we want to help you monetize your business first and foremost. So in this game with distribution, I tell everyone most artists never made $1. So with that business model, you're just spending $5,000. I have to show you how you're going to try and build a business and a career for yourself. So basically, I'm showing you how to run your own record label. I'm not a record label, you are. So I'm going to show you where the best areas that might be well spent with that $5,000. from marketing based on your social media, your history, the records, the type of music you're putting out, the whole gamut. It's a whole overall look of what you're doing.
So are you going into like, okay, here's how you're going to deal with these people to build your social media?
Are you going to put their music on iTunes for that? Like, will you help them get their music up on iTunes?
Everything for my distribution. So I deal with a system where we get uploaded onto every platform, every digital platform pretty much that you can monetize from, we're on it. So it's really strong. People have TuneCore. I don't knock TuneCore, but they're nothing like me. They're just a distribution. You could go to TuneCore, get it, and they'll put your music out, and they have a lot of platforms. They're on. Absolutely works. Great deal. You will never get someone to talk to like me. You will never get the services that I already vetted out and know work like I did. There's so many things you won't get from that. So it's like
you guarantee one-on-ones with each artist that signs up for your service?
Say that again?
You guarantee a one-on-one with each artist that signs up for...
Again, every artist that comes on will get someone to talk to.
Okay.
My team, not me.
Okay.
I cannot scale me.
Yeah.
Nor I'm too valuable in all reality to sign up for $300 for you to talk to me. That's not enough. If someone's to talk to you guys, you should charge more than $300 too. And that's just advice. And that's just the reality. So it's
I
like
don't even talk to people,
right? And that's what ends up happening. So you don't get executives. It's not worth my time.
If you see me out and about, I mean, I'll share on Twitter.
But Ebro, we're in the internet world.
I
now.
do share sometimes.
But listen to me, we're in the internet world. We're in the digital world. I could create tutorials that you could pay for to see and get all the information you need.
But Chris, you've been in this game long enough, and people, there's areas of this business when you go nationally, right? When you start talking about, let's talk specifics. You talk about rap music and hip hop, right?
Yes.
Where you literally have to go to every single club and every single city to meet every single DJ to create a relationship so that they listen to your song, then they hear your song. Boom. All right, I heard your song. So what? Right? What does your song mean, though? When I play your song, if it doesn't mean anything and I'm a DJ, I'm not playing your song again. Right? So how do you make that song mean something? So if you go back to the Murder Inc. days or early Chris Gotti days, what Irv would be DJing, and Chris would show up to the club, buy out the bar, and so when that song came on, it looked like it meant something, right?
Yes.
But that was y'all marketing tool back 20 years ago.
That what you just described, I cannot. I tell the truth. I'm gonna sit here and tell every artist that is something that is on you. That's your business. If you want to try and create that facade, that image, there's still no guarantee. We know how many people tried that.
Well, you failed 100
work.
times creating that facade.
Maybe 1,000. But who you know what I mean? That's the reality. I had just a long time conversation the other day at 4040 with a prominent producer. And he's telling me about a bag. He's got a record, and I got the bag. And he thinks that's all it takes. I said, do you understand how many people have that bag? I said, if Universal had the most resources, the most money,
and they still
can't do it, what makes you think you can do it with an artist?
Well, that's what I tell people all the time about payola. I was like, yo, if payola is that easy, how come you're not popping?
Exactly. And that's my point. So what I do is I'm giving you a dose of reality. I tell you, look in the mirror, because my job, what I've created isn't. I have really all I want to do is create a place where artists could get seen and heard. I'm creating this artist community. My community's building more and more. I'm at about 4.2 million in audience right now, and growing. Every time I bring in more artists, my audience is growing because I'm inheriting their audience as well, and then my numbers grow.
So you're creating a community that wants new music
community.
And
I'm creating an artist community online, so that automatically when you sign up, you're inheriting that. Again, the value of what you're getting from is not even close to what it's worth.
And what is the website?
The website is called Add Ventures Music, ADD, because I'm putting ventures together, music, and that's it. AddVenturesMusic.com, and you go there and you could get all this information. And then once you sign up, someone gets right in touch with you, and you respond, and we start from there.
And I think the important piece is, the last time we talked, I made sure to point out for people who are interested in this, that radio is like the last place you should be concerned about with getting your music.
And we're first half the time. Yeah. That's the funny part.
And I'm always telling artists, like, I should be the last person to, oh, you late. I'm good being late, my G, because that means that you're the cream that's risen to the top, and I get to pick from the best of the best, the hard workers, and the shit that people already love that we're gonna then take to a larger audience.
Yeah, and with all these digital platforms now, you prove with numbers how scorching your record is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the analytics.
Go ahead,
there,
grab
but
the mic, bro.
The key is that the dream has changed. Before, the dream was you would go out and spend the money and hopefully get discovered by a major label. The labels ain't looking for you anymore. They're not developing artists anymore. So this is more like a developing platform, but at the same time, as you're building that buzz, you're monetizing. How many guys you know rappers go out here, spend money, they don't have a business plan to bring it back. So later on, 2 years down the road, they're like, whatever. So this is more like monetize your dream. Put your dreams in your hand. Create your own buzz. We're going to make sure we assist you. If we're able to give you advice or be able to take you to the next level, that'll work, whether it's a Latino brand or but there's so many people out there thinking that someone's coming or looking for them. No one's looking for
Nobody's
them.
looking.
And that's the difference. The dream
They're
has
looking
changed.
for you once you become popular.
Yes.
But
Right.
you got to do it. You got to create that whole facade, that urgency of your music
Now
yourself.
scenario, back to Rosenberg's scenario before we wrap up. I got $5,000. I come to you, hey, I got $5,000. What's your advice? Boom, I'm ready to spend it.
Okay.
In that moment, though, are you telling me what I need to do for my work? Because sometimes people just want to record, then they don't want to do nothing else. I just want to get in here and rap, and I think my work is
so
done.
that's why I said everyone's journey or everyone's situation is different. So if you're looking to be a certain type of artist, let's say you want to be the Jay-Z of the world, then I know I want to roll you out differently than someone who's just looking to monetize or become, let's say, A$AP Rocky, the way he went in that path, or even, come on, I'm bad
Yo
with names.
Gotti.
Yo Gotti, exactly.
Whose
Different
trajectory is
and this is
10
what I try
years
to tell
just working
artists.
mixtapes in the street.
And guess what? It took that long path to get to where he's at today.
But if we would have been monetizing during that time, this is the key.
Oh, he was
about-
monetized.
He
I'm
was
just saying that's
monetized.
the
Oh, he
key,
was
bro. But
monetized.
that's what made him. He had his business right. So
Yeah.
once
So
you
he
sit
can
in-
sustain that long.
So when you sit in front of a label, you can now you know what you're worth and what you can. It's a whole different. And everybody's not gonna make it, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody's not gonna.
Oh,
make
that's
it.
my favorite quote.
It's the key.
Everybody ain't gonna
But
make
You
it.
know, and so
Most
some
of y'all
of my
failing. Let's keep it 100.
So some of my challenges is think about bandwidth. There's 12 covers in a magazine. Vibe magazine only has 12 covers. We only can get 12 artists in a year on this magazine. So my job is to find as many other outlets. Traditional, non-traditional. We're in the digital space. All these blogging sites, all of these different websites, they all have a value because every artist, I don't care who you are, Jay-Z, Beyonce, you want to be seen and heard. And that's my job. I'm going to get you seen and heard by an audience. And that's the most important. If you're an artist, that's all you want. Then it's up to the artist to make the hit record that moves and motivates people. And if you do that, that's when you have something.
Plus the business has
And I
changed.
keep telling artists one other thing. Don't, because they always give me, I got the record. I said, you better have a lot more than one. Because today we're in a quality business,
content.
right? We need quality and quantity. And I tell them, just think of how you found your favorite artist and you tell me if it was one record, because I guarantee it wasn't. You might have liked them, but you didn't fuck with them. Oops.
No, that's a very good way of pointing it. Quality and quantity is really where it's at.
Today.
Yep.
Before, like I tell them, Murder Inc. days, we would get 3 hit records and we knew this is lasting for the year and we're going to rock on these 3 records because 3 months, like we had it scheduled out. It was totally different. We can't get away with that today. The internet changed that. And if you don't understand that, you better go and make records. And it is competition because the artists that are winning, the top artists, are outworking the guys that are trying to get in the game. You're never getting heard
And
if
the
you don't
business
keep
is
up.
70% streaming now, so you don't have to buy anything to support the artist. You could just watch a video on Vivo,
Exactly.
or you could just listen to a song on Tidal, whatever, Spotify, and you're supporting the artist. Doesn't matter if it's Jay-Z or if it's fucking Pepito Sanchez from the bottom or from the Bronx. You feel
We
me?
love Pepito Sanchez.
From the Bronx,
So
you feel me?
Chris,
It's the same.
It's a good name. Is that a real artist, Pepito
Nah,
Sanchez?
I'm
No, I don't think so.
I was like, somebody
Chris,
take that.
so you brought.
Didn't want to
That's
disrespect him.
interesting. That's
You could
interesting.
do a show around
I was like, yo, who's Pepito Sanchez?
from the Bronx.
All right. Who's that? He got bars?
I'll bring him up next time.
Sing.
So you brought Dinero. You told me that he heads your Latin division, right?
Yes.
So what does that mean? Is that Latin rep all genres of Latin music?
Can I just say one thing before he gets into it? Yes, it reps all the Latin, but what I did, he took me on a journey out in Mexico. I'm wearing this guy, so I thought I was the only one that knew about this guy because he knew about him. Dinero brought me out to Mexico, and we did 3 shows in Mexico. One in Puebla, Mexico City, and Guadalajara. 35,000, 18,000, 10,000. It's a guy named Sican.
Number one rapper in Mexico.
They call him the Tupac of Mexico. It's unbelievable. All independent. So this concert you see here with Urbano here, the fest, was about 18 artists, all independent artists, selling out 35,000. And guess what? Tidal was there. They covered the whole thing and streamed it live. And I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing out here?
And no one knows about
I'm
this.
thinking I'm but they're already on him because his numbers, he's over 500 million views, all Mexican stuff. But when you hear his music is universal. I tell everyone, it doesn't matter. I didn't understand the word.
But
the
you
shit
felt
was hot.
it. You felt it.
Well, I mean,
It was hot. That was it.
what I pointed out to him, I don't care what business you're starting off now in this country. If you don't service the Latinos, you're not going anywhere. So part of opening this Latin division is exposing the Adventure brand to Latinos and saying, hey, there's a bunch of independents. You go to the West Coast, they're all independent. You go, it's a global market now. So we can go as far south as Argentina, as north, and everyone, and you could just put out your music, they could stream it. So it's kind of, the market is global, and it's about giving the Latinos an opportunity. So when you mention Spanish, I prefer to cater to the American Latino, which there's 3 phases. The all English-speaking Latino who doesn't speak Spanish, but he says, Raza, yo soy Latino. And then you have the all Spanish. Papi no speaking no Spanish. And then you have the all English, the bilingual person understands both. So when you say what kind of music, as long as you're Latino, I don't care if you're doing English or Spanish. The Latino person will see you and say, I mean, Pun is a great example of that. You know, at the time when he blew
connection
up,
is
he
real.
was 400 pounds talking about, I ain't a player, I just...
Yeah.
He's 400 pounds.
But the
So
music was great and the bars
of
were
course,
phenomenal.
but what I'm saying is that, no, it was incredible. The talent was there. But what I mean is the reason he is that whole Latinos, we support each other. We're brand loyal. So that's kind of what we have. We haven't had the opportunities from Pitt. You know, there's a lot of things that
One of the other things that I found with the Latin community that I love, I'm not Latin, so everyone always thinks I am when I go into places. They think I'm some type of either Puerto Rican or Dominican. That was the most thing. I'm not. At the end of the day, what I find with the Latin communities, the way they stay with what they're doing, they work harder, it's sad to say, than we do as a culture. They just work harder. And I say, people make jokes because they do different, they're doing the lawns. And they're showing you how dedicated and committed they are to doing a service and working. And the artists are the same. They're used to getting treated like second-class citizens in the music business. If you think about what I'm saying, the amount of Latin artists and how they was treated, just to think there's no universal Latino division, that's amazing to me that they don't want to do nothing with the Latin community.
Let alone
Only
urban.
Sony is the only label that would do something with, and this is one of the most emerging markets that you could deal with. If you're not dealing with either the Latin community or the Chinese community in 10 years, you're in trouble. You better speak Mandarin and you better speak Spanish.
Right.
It's that simple, and that's part of why I said, you know what, I need to create this. And then I found,
when he went to Mexico,
we met
he
and-
couldn't see 18 rappers groups all get along. He said,
That's
man, when
the
we
other
started,
thing.
everybody in the corner beefing. We know how important it is to
Think
to
of
unite.
hip hop, how we started. We stood in
it was
corners, and
beef.
it was like we
Right.
from here, you from there. It was beef. We
got
risked our
Puerto
lives
Ricans
for this
doing music
business.
with Dominicans. And especially me as a lead, I'm just trying
All
to
the
bring
Latin
them
guys was
together.
all together. I couldn't believe it. I said, "This isn't like us, man." But it was really like it was 1990 when I went out to Mexico. The way they was together, except for without the violence, it was all unity. They was all for each other, and they was helping each other. That is the artist community that I want for Adventures. If you're an artist, Ebro, I want Rosenberg talking about you and posting your shit and posting your pictures up. That's what I want. And with that interaction, I took that concept really just from watching all of the big artists. Think of the value that is with the big artists. And when they put up their album, that every artist that they like or likes them puts it up, and then all their fans put it up from a marketing standpoint.
It's a great network.
It's an
Yeah,
incredible
some get sensitive
network.
when they
And
don't.
that's what I'm going to create. And that is what I'm creating. And that is what's going to make a huge difference for independent artists when they understand to market each other like that and stick together.
I mean, we hope in the future that eventually one of our Adventures artists will be here with a
I mean,
successful
we'll
record.
see.
I'm
We'll
saying, no,
see.
in the
Yeah,
future.
no
I don't mean,
guarantees.
no.
We'll see.
What I mean, eventually if he makes enough noise with his
Listen, Hot
music, it'll
97
get
needs
you
to
guys.
do a partnership with me to
Ah,
brand
hey,
these
hey,
artists.
Hey,
This is just
hey.
business, Ebro. This is
Listen,
just
listen.
business.
I have lived a very happy life, not
So-
partnering with anybody in the music
so look,
business.
look, I'm doing a launch today. It's all invite only. It's just really tastemakers and let's say investors. comment to this, and family and friends. I have Modelo sponsoring it, Vibe Magazine sponsoring it, because they understand the value already. When I get these numbers and I hit the thresholds, because I've been talking to Verizon and all these other brands, Monster, and when I get these numbers, there's huge buckets that's going to be waiting to be unloaded. And when I get that money, I'm going to use it to market and promote independent artists.
And they don't have to pay us back.
I'll get my percentage of the money, but the rest of the money is going based on your social media. I don't care if you have 100 artists, followers or 100,000. There's a value that I will put on you and say I could spend this much money on your project. I don't want nothing in return. I get no return from you.
They don't pay back.
No. It's not recoupable. It's nothing. From $1, you get your first dollar you make. Is the way I structure.
I mean, in full transparency, because of how you have the digital platform built,
yes,
you'll be able to monetize the digital platform.
Yes,
right. So what you spend to help the artists become who they are, you obviously are going to be able to see some business revenue from that.
Right.
And from the marketing.
And from the marketing.
So
just so the audience understands,
the way we make money is all the services. I get 20%. I get 20% of the services. I negotiate the prices from all the service providers, and I get 20%. So even if I was if I spent every dollar of marketing from the marketing company into the services, I'm still making 20%, and that's fine. And there's a lot of money there, but I'm making money in other areas also.
Sounds very cool. Adventures.com, 2 D's in the ad.
Adventures Music.
Adventures Music. And what's the event? Where's the location? Is this open to the public?
It's not open. It's private.
Chill
invite only.
Oh.
Chill, fams. Chill. ADD Ventures.
I thought he wanted people lined up outside like back in the day. Like, yo, Chris, listen to my shit. Yo, Chris. Yo, it was great seeing you again. Good luck. Happy New Year and all that.
Thank you.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Sounds up. Adventures.
Music.
Adventures Music.
Yes.
.com.